Welcome to Kiwi Food Store's newest podcast, where we bring our suppliers and producers to come and share their stories, why they do what they do, and how they create their products to improve people's health. And today we have Katie, and she's helping people live tussle-free life. Katie, welcome to our program.
Thank you so much.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Why tussle?
Why not?
We want to hear from you. What is about Tussle?
Tussle was born out of a conversation. It was a group of friends that were, a lot were trying to find the most natural aid. A lot of my friends were using unrefined coconut oil, the commodity, and they also had it in the kitchen and then took it to the bedroom. And then a lot were using aloe vera, the after sun care.
Yeah.
So it really just grew out of, I think, a necessity of, I wanted really sound formulations, natural and medical grade, as well as I wanted someone to feel sexy or proud of what they're picking up.
Yeah. So the friends around the table having a discussion about what they're used for, for different purposes, and everyone was just having problems and using like homemade oils and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was, you have your introverted friends and then your really extroverted friends.
Yeah.
And it was really, it was.
But what caused you, out of all the friends, to actually take that next step to create a product that would serve?
Also one of them. I was, you try and find natural, as natural as possible. And then it kind of, it just grew from there. It was one of those things where it just kept on popping up. And I was like, hang on. You walk around supermarkets and everything, you see customers' behavior and you actually realize it's a big thing.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be shameful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had the entrepreneurial spirit in you that kept popping up about the problem was actually much bigger than what the friends would discuss.
Exactly.
And someone had to do something, and that was you.
Yeah.
So how did you go about, what was your next step if someone like wanting to start, and we all know what the problems are out there, but we don't know often what the first step to take in creating a brand or product, and then how to market it?
Yes. My first step was the branding kind of marketing side. I had my vision, and I guess I get excited about that piece.
Yeah.
And then in parallel, I was madly ringing around different chemists, independents, manufacturers, all of that to try and piece the puzzle together. Yeah. It was cold calling. It was, looking back on it now, obviously it was, you have to do it, but I laugh at myself. I was a mad.
Yeah. Well, that's how you have to be if you want to create something, right? So once you made up your mind and you went on to, on your journey of researching, how long was the whole process? Like 1 month, 6 months?
No. So, it's all kind of, R&D, for instance, took 3 years.
Yeah.
And then, TGA piece, which was super important. We went, had to do clinical evidence and put together a whole beautiful big booklet of knowledge.
Yeah.
That took about a year. And then, branding all of that, probably another 6 months.
Yeah.
Chemists. One of the stories that I don't think it will go down in the books for me, I was actually working with an independent chemist. He was just the friendliest, greatest, middle-aged man. I was working with him for 6 months.
Okay.
And it was around January after Christmas. And he passed away.
Awesome.
And my formulations, he brought to life the original wet stuff formulation. So he knew, he was a wealth of knowledge. He was incredible. So I essentially just had to start again.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah. But you probably learned a lot from that experience, and next time you would have been a lot better.
Exactly. Just don't work with a 65-year-old or...
Look, average age in Australia is, 85, 84, so we've got one of the highest life expectancies. So I think that was just unfortunate.
Agreed.
Yeah. So did you come up with the name first after, how did you come up with Tussle as a name? It's very sticky.
Yes, it's sticky. Look, it came... No, we definitely had a couple of other names, but Tussle... It was a bit playful. It was. I think it was our third. It was our third name we came up with.
Okay. How did you go about coming up with the naming the? What was the process?
Great question. We took out a dictionary.
Yeah.
It was. I had a team around me, and I think the best ideas come from I'm like a chat. I love a conversation. I love brainstorming and bouncing ideas off people. So it was just born from there. And then in terms of the product names, again, it was if you have a name like Tussle that's playful and joyful and memorable, you need to have product names that are the same.
Yeah. When you said you had a team, was it like a team of consultants, or because when you're starting out at that stage, you just don't have the money and resources to have a team. So can you...
Of course. Yeah. So yes, it was a branding agency.
Okay.
That helped me bring Tussle to life.
Yeah.
They're still very much a part of it today. I think that's the one thing I wanted to, start and always progress with, is just having the people, going along the journey with people that have as much passion as you with a product.
Yeah. How did you go about selecting a branding company that you felt was the right one to help you create a product?
Do you know what? It was actually the very beginning of COVID. So it was, again, madly ringing around friends of friends, and you just have a feel at the end of it.
Yeah. It's the gut feel for it.
It's a gut feel. And they were, all of the things I imagined Tussle to be. Colourful, bold, daring, but then smart, but then had, a certain softness about it.
Yeah, very elegant looking product, I have to say.
Yes.
Yep.
We're elegant in look and a bit daring in words.
In words, absolutely. So what problems does Tussle solve in our community? How's it improving people's health?
So we have Playmate, our water base, and Extra Virgin, our oil base. Both are different use cases. And again, at the end of the day, it's totally one's preference.
Yep.
Playmate is really, it's gentle, it's pH balanced. So a lot of people that suffer from dryness or different medical issues, Playmate may help aid it.
Yep.
So it assists with hydration and has lots of benefits from there.
Yep.
A lot of it's a daily aid. And then, of course, you have it as an enhancement for fun and for both solo and partner play.
Yep.
I think it is... it's the viscosity was super important to me, so it's bouncy and jelly-like but not sticky, which some other water-based lubricants are. And then I guess I see Playmate as like your companion to life, because it's an enhancement, but it also aids. And then you get a wet hair look from it, which I love personally. I slick my hair back often. it's a use of, you can use it for a lot of things. And then extra virgin is massage. The ingredients in there are super nourishing. So you have your castor oil, your jojoba, and then your unrefined coconut oil, which is a nod to where Tussle was born out of.
Yeah.
Different usage cases. A lot of people, purchase Playmate first, and then once they love it, then they want to try extra virgin, just a natural progression.
So Tussle's not just a Tussle-free bedroom experience, it's actually multi-purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what can you take, can you share some of the multi-purpose uses of Tussle? So apart from hair wet. Yeah.
So Playmate, wet hair look. Kimmy K is one of the best who does that. And then it's, an enhancement for one's experience, again, for solo partner. And I think it's, people that are on, for instance, Roaccutane or in some pre-postnatal, super important. Breastfeeding does, with breastfeeding comes problems, and then menopausal women. So it's really there to aid issues.
Yeah.
Which is super important. And then extra virgin, it's massage, fellatio, and then a lot of people love it because of its like velvety, smooth texture. It lasts longer.
Yeah.
The ingredients in there I wanted to be super rich and jam-packed. So you have your castor oil in there, which is growing more and more by the day just because it's an incredible moisturizing benefit.
Okay. So you can use Tussle as a moisturizer for your skin.
Yeah.
And facial and hair.
I've received many emails that a lot of people get it sent to their work, their office, and they've kept the extra virgin on their desk so they can
wow,
hand moisturize.
I'll try that actually myself. Actually, yeah.
I see that.
Yeah. So so it's very natural product, not only just a substitute to say KY or other products, but it's just multi-purpose. You could just
Exactly.
Yeah. So you talked about a castor oil. So special about the castor oil and some of the other ingredients you have used.
So castor oil, it's jam-packed with goodness. I think it's been about 3 years ago. It's just been on the rise, especially in the US. It's just packed with nutrients and is, when you feel it on its own, it's quite thick. But I think weaves here, it's a perfect kind of, the other oils have made it, it's just super moisturizing, nourishing, which is exactly what some people love about the oil base.
Yeah. So are you, how many stores are you in currently with Tussle?
We're in about 25 stores in Australia currently.
Yeah.
Kiwi Foods was our first partner, so thank you. But we're slowly growing by the day. Really exciting trajectory. So get there.
I'm sure you will.
Slow and steady.
You got to make a Tussle-free business journey for yourself too, right? You don't want to be tussling too much.
Exactly. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it can be. So now we're proud to have your product and proud to be the first retailer to stock it. And we're fortunate we are in a position we can say that there's quite a few producers that we are, the first stockist.
Yeah.
So that's really, really good. Is it available online?
It is available online, tussle-together.com.
Okay.
It's,
What did you say? Tussle Together?
Together.
Where did you come up with all these names? So there's tussle-together.com.au is your name of your website.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, that I think, I think with...
Shouldn't it be Tussle-free together? Why Tussle Together?
I just think it's all about community and love and joy and empowering people. And I think you can do that by yourself and solo for sure, but I'm a people's person, and I think having a community around you in life is special.
Yeah, what helps you overcome challenges.
Exactly. So that tussle together, there it is.
Yeah. And has it been like, from a personal, life challenges point of view, a living life, challenging itself and then creating a brand, at any point you felt like, I wish I never started, it's just so hard? Or what kept you going?
A great question. Honestly, just an underlying passion for the product.
Yep.
And the brand. It's very, I love hearing stories of people, it helping people, or people having so much fun with it, or just, I love the stories. Have definitely kept me going. I'm sure it's a challenge most days, there's always something that pops up.
Yeah.
That's such as life. So why not do something that you're passionate about and know that it's helping others?
Yeah, so it's a deep conviction that you've had kept you going, that it's going to help improve people's health.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, no, that's good. So that was actually way before COVID, and now almost 5 years on.
Correct.
That is a long journey.
So the idea was born in December 2019.
Yep.
And then by March 2020, I think I had my first phone call with our chemist.
Wow. So just within like 4 months or something.
Yeah.
You've got to move quick, right? So once you have the idea, if you just sit on it, it'll just die out.
Yeah, for sure.
And you started feeding energy and started feeding milk.
It was COVID as well. So, it was a slower life. It's funny. Timing is also everything, It's, the pieces just kind of came together.
Yeah.
And the hustle was real, but it kind of, everything was starting to fall into place.
Yeah. And you probably had a lot of family support.
Yeah, I mean,
to keep you cheering you on.
Remember during COVID, I was having a meeting, and my dad walks into the office, and he's a very liberal guy, don't get me wrong, but I think I said something it just came out, and he just went, oh, and burst into laughter. And it's those conversations as well that keep you going.
So your dad went, what are you doing?
What are you doing? And then today he reads our marketing pamphlet and he goes, oh, that's genius.
That must feel really good, Dad, making those comments.
Yes, I do get a heart flutter for sure. But yeah.
We're going to go back a few moments ago. You mentioned about some of the stories that you have heard from people who have used the product.
Yeah.
So can you share a story or two that it helped the person so much and they wrote you a testimonial email or something?
Of course. So a couple of women, one specifically emailed me, and she was going through cancer treatment. And with cancer treatment, the repercussions of chemo, radio, all of that, women suffer from dryness. So you can imagine a lot of discomfort in your whole body, but it's a sensitive area. So that was one that it aided her. It helped her every day throughout her whole treatment. Got goosebumps. And then another one was, and honestly, she was actually a young girl. She was 24, and she just was having fun, exploring, getting to know herself. And she just said that it helped her. It empowered her in the bedroom. She was, the stigma, it was past few years ago was very different to today.
Yeah.
But she needed it, and she was proud to bring it into the bedroom.
Yeah.
And I think that helped her emotionally, mentally.
Yeah. Amazing.
Which was cool. And then you just get your fun emails of like people loving it, and you've got your repeat buyers and your people on subscription that, you know, when you finally, I think it's the second, third, fourth, fifth buyer, and you're like, that means a lot.
Yeah.
Because they love the product.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing to hear those stories when it empowers people and solves and real life experiences.
Exactly.
And they wouldn't have taken the time to email you if they didn't have the positive the results. That is so good. Because that gives you, that alone gives you just fuels energy. You know,
Exactly.
That's the fuel you need to keep going.
Well, they're the challenges that you do face are definitely, I think that's where the passion and the fire comes from. The emails, hearing great stories, that's the fire comes in when you're faced with challenges along the way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So what other challenges do you have currently now? You've gone through the journey of creating the product. It's TGA approved. So you've got all your certifications. You've got your website. You're basically set to really get the product out to the consumers.
Yeah.
What are the challenges do you feel you have, or you will have, in getting the product out to the market?
Look, I think the nature of the product and the category is challenging. A lot of, although there is growing emphasis on sexual wellness within one's whole health journey, is growing and growing and growing. I think it was often an unopened topic. People didn't speak about it. And although that is changing, it's changing slowly.
Yeah.
The products are it's growing every day, but I think that stigma and the taboo of the product has always been a challenge. You've got your ways of advertising. You need to be really smart about it. Meta is a pain in the ass.
As in Meta, Facebook.
Just the ways of advertising is that's probably our biggest challenge.
Yeah.
But you just have to be really smart in the way you photograph and use your words, which will get there. But
talking about a stigma and taboo, I think that's a very fair assessment, because even before our conversation, I was actually going, Morale, what have you done? And she said, Katie, coming from Tussle, you're going to have a conversation. I said, some of the question, I don't know how I'm going to say it, but, and then you made it easy. We had a little chat before our conversation started getting recorded. And I think, it is something, it is a taboo.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think, that's we try and speak to many people, from, the young folk that going into their experiences. And then, of course, as I touched on, the menopausal women struggling or finding challenges in their changing body. And then you have your men that are over 60 that also, are still human.
Yeah.
So I forgot the question you asked me. Stigma and taboo. So it's definitely, we're trying to speak to many people. But there's different, that, as I said at the very beginning, you have your introverted friends, and you always will. But I think time is slowly changing. However, it will always still be there in some capacity.
Absolutely.
Which is, we're totally across, and we know, and it's just, I always respect people of, it's not like we want to hear everyone's experience or the greatest joy is if someone writes an email and said, I love your product. That's all I want to hear. And I respect people who just want to keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
And then you've got your extroverts. And I think that will just, time will, slow. There's definitely, it's growing. As I said, sexual wellness equals inner health. So
absolutely.
It will always be there. But I think one of our main objectives was Tussle wanted to speak to today's customers, not yesterday's. And, I think even in QE, we're sitting next to Durex. They're one of the biggest players. And I think just in the way we speak to our customer and the way when they pick up the bottle and how it makes them feel, we're doing our job. So we'll slowly get there. But yeah.
Well, that's how innovation starts. I think innovation starts around the kitchen table, your home. And just like you started Duracell, when the companies get so large, very hard for them to actually make products that are going to revolutionize the industry or product ranges. Yeah. So what's the end goal with Tussle?
End goal, I'd love to, I think growing on shelf space is important.
Yeah.
I think with the nature of the product, there, sometimes is an urgency. Sometimes you can forward plan, but there is an urgency with the product for some, and they actually want to touch and feel it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to, grow in Australia. We're launching our third product next year. So the product range will hopefully grow.
Yeah. Which a bit
to who we are and what we believe in.
Yeah. So what do you believe in?
We believe better sex for all.
Okay. Hassle-free sex for all.
Exactly. We're gentle, but we're bold.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that it's about empowering and finding joy and movement and love, and it's for everybody. At any age and any use case.
Yeah. What are the some of the sustainable initiative, like around ethical business practices, do you have in your business?
Yeah, so I'm actually currently chatting to a charity that we're hoping to partner with. But in terms of sustainability product-wise, our manufacturer is just past Newcastle. They've been 30 odd years in the trade, and is sustainable facility. We've tried to source the most sustainable ingredients.
Yeah.
So whether from Australia or close to, and then the SR social responsibility piece is, I definitely want to find the right partner, and I guess together go on a journey to work to create a more loving.
Yeah. And what percentage of your products or ingredient is actually from Australia? Because you said it's manufactured here.
Yeah.
It is mostly local product ingredient.
So we're sitting at about 60%.
Yeah.
60, 70%. But everything is medical grade. It's the best ingredients for the product.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our packaging is 30% PCR, so recyclable materials. And of course, it's always a journey finding the right partner. So hopefully we'll get to 100%.
Yeah.
We're projecting like in 5 years' time, we can be 100% PCR.
Yeah.
If not.
But your business got to be sustainable as well, because you probably go down that path, then the shelf life issues for the product and
the whole thing. It's all process.
Look, we're seeing, compostable packaging is growing in our business, and we do prioritize producers that are coming up with the compostable packaging products, so they get prioritized to go on our shelves.
I think one of the most, for me personally as a consumer, I always like a brand that keeps their customers up to date or shows you the journey at where they are. I mean, everyone wants to better their company, and of course, sustainability is so integral. So I think it's just all about communication of, we want to be here, we're here, but hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah.
So
that's good that you do have sustainability and ethical practices on mind to carry with you.
Of course.
Excellent. Well, if our customers would like to learn more about your product, where would they find? So just go to
Call me.
Call me. What's your number? So go to your website, Instagram.
Yes, go to tussletogether.com. There's a hi@tussletogether.com is our email. And we're there all the time. Happy to answer any question.
All right, well, our customers can basically find these products on our shelves in all 11 stores?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Okay. All right, so there you go. Well, pop into, for our customers, pop into Kiwi food stores and start living tussle-free life.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Katie, for coming in and sharing wonderful stuff. I love having these conversations, especially at the start of the journey with entrepreneur like yourself, just started and just beginning. Because I know that a lot of people out there probably need to hear just when someone just starting out.
Yeah, for sure. I can't thank you enough, Kiwi Foods, as I said. It was our first partner, and I'm so happy that your customers love it.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, have a good day.